Well, Dan, thank you. Good evening, baseball fans and wrestling fans. Welcome to Frontier Field and a very special episode of Pregame Live. You know, two topics have been tearing up the internet and the blogosphere and the Twitter and the sports talk shows this summer. One of them, of course, the Empire State Yankees playing their home season right here at Frontier Field. And the other, of course, takes place on the other side of the country in Los Angeles in just a couple of weeks. August 19th, WWE presents SummerSlam, available on pay-per-view from Time Warner Cable. August 19th, SummerSlam from Time Warner Cable. You know, not since Andrew the Authority Joseph left the staff of the Pain Clinic radio show, under somewhat mysterious circumstances, I might add, not since he left has there been a more respected wrestling broadcaster in town than my next guest. He is the voice of Pier 6 Wrestling Shakedown on CW18 every Saturday night. Please join me in welcoming my good personal friend, Mr. Scotty Bender.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Again, my name is Scotty Bender. I'm with Pier 6 Wrestling. It's a local independent wrestling federation. We run out of Hamlin, New York. And I personally want to invite everybody to our next event, Sunday, August 26th at 4 p.m. at the Hamlin Sportatorium. Come see local star, former WWE ECW wrestler Colin Delaney as he defends his Pier 6 Wrestling Championship title on the card. For information, go to pier6wrestling.com for ticket info. And again, I'd love to see you come out. So we have a very special guest tonight as we get ready for WWE SummerSlam on August 19th, presented by Time Warner Cable. It is great pleasure that I introduce to you a man who has been part of SummerSlam history on more than one occasion, WWE superstar, multiple New York Times best-selling author, philanthropist, and stand-up comedian, the one, the only, Mick Foley!
Going.
We got what's going on here? Excuse me, got an interview going on?
Just going to do a little interview here for a second, and then I'll do whatever it is you want me to do after that.
Well, Mick, welcome back to Rochester and Frontier Field. It's kind of a homecoming of sorts. I mean, you got family ties here
Hold
in
on.
Western. I know. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
All right. Stay down. I'm sorry the kids had to see that here today. My apologies.
Probably better off,
but
Mick.
he exceeded the 5-tap rule. Okay.
Fair
Tap
enough.
more than 5 times, I got to put you down.
Fair enough. Again, Mick, welcome back to Rochester. I know you have
Sorry, buddy.
family ties here in Western New York. It's kind of a homecoming of sorts.
It is. Yeah, I was the youngest member of the Foley family to swim across Lake Canandaigua. I did it when I was 10. It was the elementary backstroke, but it still counts, right? So, yeah, I was hanging out in the places where I grew up. Love this part of the country, even though I actually say that everywhere I go in the country, too, just to be fair.
Fair enough, fair enough. I know you're a big Zweigle's hot dog fan.
I am.
So I got to ask, red or white?
I'm not going to anger anybody here, am I? I'm a red hot guy.
All right, fair enough.
I came out to the ballpark like 5 years ago, and I bit into a Zweigle's, and it instantly reminded me of my youth. And although I don't look like a guy who enjoys the finer things in life, I will order Zweigle's hot dogs, and it'll arrive in like one day to Long Island. So I'll buy them like by the caseload.
Now, I know you've been busy, and again, want to thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule. You've been doing a lot of stand-up comedy lately. I know you started back in 2009, and it's grown. Just got back from Montreal just for laughs.
Yeah, although I haven't said anything funny tonight, and I'm not likely to, I did 4 shows. Just for Laughs is the biggest international comedy festival in the world. And next week I'm heading for Edinburgh, Scotland, which is the second largest comedy festival. And things have gone really well. got glowing reviews even from non-wrestling fans.
And that was called the Prisoner of Raw Tour.
It was.
It is called the Prisoner of Raw Tour.
In Edinburgh, it's called Prisoner of Raw. In Montreal, I was doing with a great comedian named Brendan Burns, and we tipped our hat to JR, and we called it Good God Almighty.
Now, as we mentioned, SummerSlam right around the corner on August 19th, presented by Time Warner Cable, live on pay-per-view. You've been part of many, many memorable matches in SummerSlam. I know we've got a lot of big matches coming up. Anything stands out in your head coming up?
Not really. No, it's going to be a great show, and I'll be out there. I'm actually doing a post-SummerSlam comedy show at the Improv in L.A. It's going to be a lot of fun because of the time difference. It'll only be like 9 o'clock there by the time the show's over. I'm looking forward to Triple H, who I wrestled in SummerSlam 1997, taking on Brock Lesnar. Should be a classic confrontation.
A lot of bad blood there, a lot of bad blood. I want to ask you something else that's very, very close to your heart. You work very hard at some of your charity work. Talking about RAINN in 2011, you met a personal goal, you and supporters. $100,000 was raised for the organization. Congratulations. Just let the fans out there know a little bit about that and what you're doing for them, folks.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me do this because RAINN is the nation's largest anti-sexual assault organization. It's not a subject that's easy to talk about, so when I do shows and go places, it sometimes allows me to talk about it, help spread the word, create awareness, and I believe it's a problem that can be greatly diminished with just some conversations. So thanks for giving me the chance to talk about it right here in Rochester, New York.
Well, I know that because of the great work you've done and because of your appearance here today, the Rochester Red Wings are going to donate $500 to RAINN in your name, and I know they like to present a check to you. Nick Sherrata
I appreciate
here.
That. I'm not sure that's going to fit in my wallet, though. That's really cool. Really appreciate you guys doing this. Believe me, as a volunteer for RAINN, I know how well the money's spent and how far it goes, so it's very much appreciated.
Again, Mick, thank you very much for your appearance here today. And don't forget, fans, WWE SummerSlam presented by Time Warner Cable, live on pay-per-view, August 19th. Pier 6 Wrestling, Sunday, August 26th. Mick?
I just want to point out, some people wonder, they've seen my matches and seen me, for example, thrown off the top of the cell structure, and they wonder what would actually scare somebody like me. That answer would be throwing out a first pitch at a baseball game, which everybody who stands on that mound finds absolutely terrifying. So I hope you won't think less of me. After several attempts throwing from the mound and bouncing it 10 to 12 feet in front of the plate, I will take that spot at the front of the mound, lob it in with no velocity whatsoever, and I hope all of you will overlook the flaws of my pitching motion and give me a nice round of applause anyway.
I'm sure you'll do better than Carl Lewis, so thank you again, Mick.
Thank you very much.
Mick Foley, everybody.
Always great to be here.
Put your hands together.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Frontier Field. I'm Kevin Spears, and here are tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Hillside Family of Agencies. First, for the visiting Indianapolis Indians. Leading off at shortstop,